Hey everyone, I'm Erica Quam of the Coaching Experience. I teach athletic coaches how to think more strategically about coaching, how to balance the demands of your career, and how to create a life you enjoy. Welcome to the first of 3 short videos I'm doing on the topic of leadership. When I talk to coaches who say that they have leadership issues on their team, they're usually specifically referring to their team captains. For most coaches, this is the place where leadership starts and ends. So let's dive in. Leadership is a big and broad topic. And I believe it's important for coaches to take time to talk to your whole team about leadership, not just your team captains. This isn't as easy as it sounds, though. Teaching leadership can be hard because of these 3 things. Number 1, information overload. Number 2, experience and expectations. Number 3, relatability. So let's start with information overload. Leadership is a hot topic. There are literally thousands of books out there on leadership. Today, there are tons of resources and media on leadership, from TED Talks to podcasts to blogs and tweets. And there are lots of great messages and powerful quotes. And with this technology, we have everything at our fingertips. It's almost overwhelming because as great as these things are, it can be all over the map. It can be hard to know what to teach and where to begin. So what tends to happen for coaches is you come across some great stuff on leadership that you really like and you file it away. Then something happens on your team and you pull out that resource to read to your team before practice. And this is how it works throughout the year as things come up. You talk about leadership, you share ideas and quotes and stories, but there's usually not a lot of advanced planning or a common thread tying things together. I call this the duct tape approach. And the problem with this is it's reactive instead of proactive. It's in response to something that's happened. It's something that's one and done. You bring something up once and never talk about it again. And even the duct tape approach is better than never taking the time to talk about leadership at all. So I'm not saying that it's wrong. It's just that inconsistent actions create inconsistent results. So it's not the best. The second reason teaching leadership can be hard is because of experience and expectations. Everyone comes in with their own ideas about leadership and their own unique experiences and expectations. And all of your athletes have had other coaches besides you. And some of these coaches did all of the decision making and were totally in charge. I had swimmers who came to my team whose coach told them exactly how to swim each and every single lap. These swimmers never learned how to warm up or even how to cool down on their own. Their coach literally controlled everything and never taught them why. So they were a little like robots. And that's not at all how I coached. I wanted athletes to get to know themselves really well and get to know what worked and what didn't work for them. I wanted them to be able to make their own decisions and to experience the effect of their decisions and learn from that. I wanted them to be able to lead themselves. So there was a big gap between where they had been and where I wanted them to be. And I had to bridge that gap before I could expect them to have the leadership skills they needed to be able to make these decisions on their own. It wasn't an overnight thing. It was more of a learning process. So your athletes will have different levels of exposure to even being in the position of being a leader. So you have to get everyone on the same page, speaking the same language, and sharing the same set of expectations. And as the coach, you have to get to know and get really clear on where you're going before you'll be able to plan how to get there. The third reason teaching leadership to your team can be difficult is because the majority of your athletes don't even see themselves as a leader. Maybe no one has taught them how to be a leader. Maybe they have an image in their mind of who a leader is and what a leader does, and that doesn't match up with who they think they are. Maybe they lack the confidence to consider being in a leadership role. Maybe they would never even think to try. So it's important to tell your athletes that there's no one right way to lead. There are many different types of effective leaders, and there are many different types of leadership styles. Teaching your team about leadership begins with you, the coach. Your athletes are watching you and learning from you every single day, whether you like it or not. It's important for you to be able to model your own unique leadership style for them. Be transparent about your strengths and your areas for growth, And if you don't know those, then your team already does. So start by asking them. Thanks for being here today. These were a few reasons teaching leadership can be difficult. If you'd like to hear a little more on how to make things easier and more effective, stay tuned on the next video. See you then.